Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on? This is Queen Aisha, and thank you for joining me for another episode of I Know Dope People. And we have some dope friends of mine, 4 dope friends of mine today. And we're going to discuss the topic, dating after marriage. So for you all that don't know, I was married for over 23 years. I know you're like, 23 years, you only look like you're 25. Don't worry about that. We'll get to it. Anyway, I was married for over 23 years, and I realized that the marriage wasn't working. After separation, getting back together, counseling, and all those things, I felt that I needed to honor myself, and the best way to do that is exit stage left. So we divorced in 2017, and I've been single in these streets ever since. So we're going to talk about dating experiences, tips, and the great thing is that I made sure that I included men. 2 of my greatest male friends, we have our Larry Parrish and Michael Prince. So they're going to give us their side of the dating and then tips that women, I think that will be beneficial to us from men. And these guys are pretty dope, respectable guys, as far as I know anyway. Anyway, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, I already know it's going to be some foolishness. I'm telling y'all now. We're going to have a part 2 and a part 3. But most importantly, we're going to share very informative information from the male and the female side because we all need one another, right? We're all here from one another. But before we get to the topic, I just want to give you some real quick Queen Aisha quickies. So this coming Thursday on October 21st, I'll be doing Shooting the Ish with my tech squad, Katanya Lester and Marvin Brooks. So we're just going to be talking about things that we talk about in our chat. It's going to be live on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It might be 10 because Katanya said she wanted to have a drink, so she'd be lit around 10. So I'll be promoting that. And then it's going to re-air on Saturday, the 23rd of October, because I'll be in the Houston, Texas area doing Pretty in Pink, the first annual Pretty in Pink brunch for my awesome, lovely friend, Evelyn Clark, who was on a few weeks ago. She's a breast cancer survivor. So I'm going to go and host and celebrate her and support her with her event in Humble, Texas. The flyer is right there. Also, I'm super excited to announce that I will be having a monthly Queen Aisha's Crazy Funny Sundays in Norcross, Georgia. The first one is on November 20th. It's like a pre-Thanksgiving, it's Aisha Farah / Aisha Queen Aisha birthday. So come out, have a really good time. We have Mario Torre, who is hilarious. He lives here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. He will be headlining. And also Alicia Cooley, who was from Philly, but lives right here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So those are just some real quickies for you. And I just want to tell you that anybody that's watching the show, I'm like, oh, she's single. I'm telling you, the thing that I'm looking for most in a man is a man that can give me a shape up. I'm just trying to cut down on this $50 for a haircut. If you can do that, you my boo. You my boo. All right, y'all, we're going to get started. First, we're going to bring Larry Parrish up first because he a deacon. So we're going to start it with prayer. We're going to end it with Michelle with prayer. Yeah. What's up, Larry, big brother?
You got it, Queen. You got it.
What's up, baby? Good to see you. I miss you.
I miss you as well.
Yeah, so Say it again.
I'm praying for you.
I'm praying for you too, whatever. So the subject today is dating after marriage. And you know my former husband, and actually I got married and I think I met you maybe like 2 years later. Let me explain something to y'all about volunteering. I was a volunteer on KISS Crew at WKYS 93.9 in Washington, D.C., which is now owned by Kathy Hughes. From that, I met awesome friends like Larry Parrish. We've been friends almost 30 years. We have gone hiking. We have gone horseback camping. We know each other's families. Like when I was moving to Los Angeles, we had a going away party at his house, and him and his former wife wasn't even home at that time, but his mother-in-law was there with that good 6 flavor pound cake, honey. I hope she ain't go with the divorce shit. So this is an awesome, awesome friend of mine, and he is a deacon. And when I actually heard that Larry was divorcing, I was sad. Me and Ernest did gate crash the wedding reception, but we wasn't invited. We'll talk about that another time. But I was sad. I was actually really surprised because Nikki, she ain't like me at first. I don't think Nikki didn't like me. I think Nikki was like, okay, she loud and she different. And then I kind of grew on her. You know what I'm saying? Because me and Nikki communicate to this day. We communicate. Anyway, so Larry, how has it been in these single deacon streets?
Well, for me, Queen, it's been difficult because, as you know, when you get a divorce, they say it's like a death. So I guess you go through the mourning process, the mourning process of it, and then you get back into dating. I guess we have a 17-year-old daughter, but me and my ex-wife have a very good relationship. My daughter said, "Dad, are you and Mom besties?" And I said, "That's what you want to call us, Madison." But what we did, even though we're not married anymore, we always wanted to make sure that we kept that level of communication so that our daughter would always see her parents in the light to say, no matter what, they still love me. That's first and foremost for me. They still love me. This wasn't my fault. All that's out of the way. But I would say for me, for the dating aspect of it is, it's been challenging because when you've been married for 21 years and then you go back into the dating scene, it's like, oh my God, everything has changed.
Yeah, I think that because we got married in the 90s, right? So I really think the last great relationships for me, my experience, I think it was the 90s. A man pursued a woman, a woman she was able to be, as Nichelle would say, in her sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? And I think that now, I don't know what's going on. People think people disposable. It's just crazy to me. So we are going to talk about all of these things here today. I already see Michael face like he wants to say something crazy. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in Michael Prince. Michael Prince is from Tifton, Georgia. And Michael Prince is from Tifton, Georgia. And we met as comedians coming to Atlanta, Georgia for the Laughapalooza the Laughapalooza comedy conferences. And we just clicked, At that time, he was married to his former wife. And his former wife, Lisa, is cool. She's a Sagittarius like me. So I know he was dealing with crazy. Anyway, but she had December says, there ain't nothing bad, Lisa. I'm just saying. But yeah, so me and Michael, we go back to touring over in Asia for a month. And I was actually in a cast. And here's the thing, we both were married at that time. And it was stuff going on in the military base. We was like, no, we going to our room. We don't want to be invited. Don't invite us. No, we don't see it.
No, you was in a boot. You were not in a cast. Correct me. You were in a boot. But yeah, hey man, hello to everyone, man. Thank you for having me out here, Queen. Like I said, I will say this, and I will continue to say this. You are just like a little sister to me. I mean, always have been. You family, even from the time that we went to Korea and Japan and all that other stuff, man.
You can't wait to get out of Korea. I can't talk about
look here. I'm trying to tell you, those 26 days was killing, but we did our thing. And BET's Comic View, we did our thing. Laughapalooza, we did our thing. I mean, we just did what we had to do, but at the same time, Queen, you got some issues. We got to talk about those issues.
First of all, let me tell you something. I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this out here so y'all don't have to say it. I think the person, if I looked at everybody here and said who I've been the biggest pain in their behind, if I did it in order, it would be Nichelle. Okay? Because Nichelle, she tried to keep my spirit right. Okay, the reason I was in Los Angeles the time I was there was because she said, Queen, just give it 2 years. Because I'd be on the phone crying, this and this and that, all this shit. Queen, when I tell you I left 2 years to the date, I was gone. Okay. Now, Michael, before I moved to LA, Michael would come. The reason I own a Mac is because of Michael. Queen, you need a Mac. Just need you got pictures and videos. Mike would be at work getting his money and have to remote through my computer because I didn't know what I was.
That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't understand. Queen got issues. And she don't, you could be at your real job. Comedy was my other job.
And I want it now.
Yes, at your real job. Queen would call, hello, hi, Queen. Yeah, I need some help. Where you at? I'm at home. I'm at work. Can I call you back? No. I'm like, what is going on?
I was stalking him for real. Yeah, so that is me and Michael's relationship. And then we got my girl, Ebony Caldwell, Coach Ebony. Me and her work. So y'all know I'm a working comedian. What I ain't gonna is broke. Okay. Anyway, me and Ebony met at Aflac as real. I was about to lie, say real estate as insurance agents, and her smile just lit up the room, and we've been cool ever since. Going through the transition from marriage, we had lost contact, but she was so heavy on my spirit. And we finally got back connected, and she had told me that she was actually separated and transitioning from her marriage. And me and Ebony has shared some stories. It's like shock with the dating experiences that we have had. And it's like, it hurt your feelings. You be like, is this for real? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this for real? So we have Ebony here, and she's actually in Lawrenceville. We in the same city.
Yes.
We're in the same. Ebony moved here about
2.5 months ago.
Almost 3 months from Columbia, Maryland. So Ebony is here, and Ebony, you can share your real quickly about your marriage, your separation, transition, dating, and how is that for you? What does that look like in your Coach Ebony world?
Okay, so in my Coach Ebony world, actually, it's absolutely amazing. So I will say this, to me, when someone gets divorced, all is not lost. I think it's an opportunity and a chance to grow spiritually, mentally, physically. I mean, the growth that occurred with me being single was absolutely amazing. The peace that I received in that 1-bedroom apartment with just the air mattress was absolutely amazing.
You got that good air mattress, like 18 inches?
Yeah, it was high off the floor. It was pretty cool. So for me, the growth that occurred from all aspects was amazing for me. I even learned more about myself because like my children are grown and everything. So I just had that time for that me time and learning Ebony and what does Ebony like? Okay, what is Ebony's niche? What is her purpose on this earth? So I've gained so much knowledge and connected with, spiritually. I love it. Now I still do believe in love. I believe in marriage. I believe being with a person that's fashioned for you, that adds value to my already awesome life. Yeah. So I think it's awesome. So all in all, divorces to me is not a bad thing. I think people need to take their time and, think things over before running to marriage and just make sure that person is a right fit and you're a right fit for them as well.
Right. A Reason, Season, Lifetime. Me and Ebony are the co-authors of Dating After Marriage Chronicles. Yes. Yes. And then lastly, but not leastly, we're going to bring in Nichelle, who is an ordained minister. And let me tell you about Miss Nichelle. I met Nichelle when I was actually opening up for Kindred Family Soul in Baltimore, Maryland. And she was in the audience. And she came up to me and told me how much she enjoyed the show. She actually had a women's event going on, and she told me she wanted to speak to me about performing there, speaking there. And I was like, oh, yes. And we got on the phone. With me, if y'all know me, if we click, we click. Mm-hmm. So we flowed like water. Mm-hmm. And we got to talking and having a good conversation. Went to her event, which was awesome, wonderful, fabulous. And we just stayed in contact. So when I was really going through my transition, Nichelle, we were really on the phone heavy. You know what I'm saying? We were really on the phone. And me and Nichelle, spiritually, religion, we're from two walks of life. But what we do is we give each other room and space. And if I'm having one of those days where I just want to cuss, she just go into prayer. And here's the thing. She laughs too. She be like, "When you crazy, you crazy." Blah, blah, blah. She lets me be myself, but she always leaves me with tools. And then if it's something that I may not agree with or see different with her, I'll drop something on her too. And she's like, you know what? I never thought about that, Queen. So it's so wonderful to have those types of relationships. So I truly appreciate and honor each and every one of you as friends for your yes and coming on the show. And overall, when I ask any of my friends to come on, it's not only just yes, but it's for you, of course. So that speaks volumes to who I am and how I show up in your life. I don't owe nobody no money, I don't think. Anyway, but we're gonna have a great show today. Great conversations, dating after marriage. Michelle, and you were married, so tell us about your experience from being married, transitioning, and where you are today. Yeah.
Harry, good morning, everybody. So I love marriage. I love being married. I was only married for a short 3 years. I was single. I was 44 when I got married. So have been single for, lived by myself, put it that way, for a long time. So I actually got married quickly. Like I cuffed quickly, It must
have been the winter.
Listen, it was a long
turnover.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. But it was wonderful. What I will say is that I always say this, and I think you've heard me say this, Queen. Marriage is not for children. It's not for the faint of heart, because it's not an overnight trip. It is not an excursion. It is.
Yes, Jesus.
It's like the hugest roller coaster you're ever going to ride. It's going to be high highs. It's going to be low lows. It's going to be high highs. You got to hang in the low lows because it's another high coming. But a lot of times people don't make it through the highs. They don't make it through the dip, the low dip, to get back to the highs. And so I will agree with Larry is that I don't care if it's amicable or not. It is when two become one, when you are divorcing, it is a death. The flesh is tearing apart because you are becoming one. And it's such a spiritual matter that you feel that death, you feel it. But I will have to agree with Ebony. It allowed me to see a lot of things, really reassess. I always liked dating. I love love. I've never said men are dogs because that's not my experience. And I remember when he was saying he was calling himself leaving, and I said, well, you're not gonna make me not love again. He said, I ain't never getting married. I said, well, that's your testimony. I said, because I'm not gonna be an angry Black woman. I'm not gonna do that. And I haven't been, and I'm grateful. I'm dating now. Somebody is very wonderful, and it's a nice time in my life. But I'm thankful that I'm not that bitterness. And I will say about this. A lot of times people don't and divorce is different because divorce can do a lot of things to you. You go through, like grieving, you mad, you angry, then you what did I do? That's the question you're going to play 1,000 times in your mind. And it just, I had to come through a lot of things. So I didn't really date right out the gate because I wanted to make sure I was being fair to myself and the person I was dating, and I think that's mature. I think a lot of times people in divorce, they don't wait to give themselves time to really rediscover themselves outside of that and have peace with how it all played out. You gotta have peace with it.
Yes. And one thing with Michael, and because dating, I married at 22. So dating was such I didn't have a lot of boyfriends. I was basically like, if you smell my neck and you kiss me, we go together. That's it. We're a couple. Right. So me and my former husband, I think we were together 3 or 4 months. And we married, so we actually grew in the marriage, you know what I'm saying? So, and all of you, I think, except for Nichelle, knows my former husband, and he's a great guy. And I had to actually own that because I had experiences with him that I think also kind of keeps me from certain things. You know what I'm saying? Certain experiences, it doesn't fit me because I know who my father is. I know how he showed up when my mom and him were together. And then with my former husband, I know the things that I seen was given and how it's treated. So some stuff I just like, no, I'm good. I don't eat pork, but Michael, you actually said you were very intentional for a year of not dating. He didn't say he didn't have sex. I don't know. I'm not getting into that. He said he played tag, football, or chocolate. I don't know. If he hit a goal,
don't say anything, Michael. Don't say anything.
I'm just telling you. But really, honestly, I was married for 19 years. I got married at the age of 19, and I was married for 19 years, and I learned a lot. I grew a lot. We grew together. One of the things that I did do once we decided to get a divorce, which I didn't know.
Did you say divide?
Yeah, well, we divided. That was a big part of the divorce. So one of the things that I really had to take notice of when the divorce happened, because the divorce kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. It was not seen. It was like it snuck up on me. It wasn't a
Sagittarius. That's how we move, real quiet.
It wasn't agreed upon because I thought we still had something. But one thing that I did do as I went through the divorce, I did find myself taking a year from everybody, everybody, comedy, those things that made me happy, because I wanted to take a year to go through the process of, like Larry was saying, of a loss. For lack of a better word, I even went to the point to where I never dated. Didn't go on a date for a whole year, because I had to do several things that I had made lists of. I had to, first of all, forgive myself first for what I had done in the marriage. And that's what people don't do. They go run into another. No, you go find somebody else to try to replace that person. No, you need to look at what you did, hold yourself accountable, and forgive yourself for what you did. I know after I hit that year mark, I called my ex-wife at that time. I said, hey, look, I said, I just want you to forgive me. She was like, for what? And I went down the list. Here's what I didn't do. Here's what I think I did do. Here's what I had to do. But I want you to forgive me. And I forgive you for what you did. But that helped me to heal a whole lot faster than jumping into another relationship, knowing that I wasn't ready. Because one of the things, and this was very, very big in my life, you can't go into a relationship with two hands of baggage. You can't, because if your hands are full of baggage, how do you give that person
all these deacons on here today?
So you got to think about those things that you have to do for yourself first. So I had to drop at least one hand of baggage so I can at least hold someone. With one hand.
You gotta speak, Michael.
I had to go through nights of people saying, hey, look, let's go on a date. I would go to a bar, but I would never go on a date. And I would tell that person, hey, look, I'm going through a divorce. Even though I had been divorced, I took that whole year to drop that baggage so that when I did meet the person that I wanted to, be with or be on a date with, I was fully free with both hands to give them whatever they need, a hug, a kiss, whatever. You know what I mean?
And now he has Miss Erica. Look at, he can't even stop.
I ain't gonna even say that. Y'all don't understand what's going on in my house. My wife done went and did her hair and is sitting over here like she in the audience. You hear me? I know y'all don't believe me. My baby don't win it. I ain't lying. Look.
Erica. Ebony and Erica, y'all both from the Midwest. And when I met Erica, she reminded me of Ebony.
Yes.
They're both from the Midwest.
Yes.
Them big, pretty smiles, them chocolate girls. Yeah.
And you see, y'all don't understand. I ran into a person who I never thought that we would ever date. And when we started to date, it was just a beautiful thing, because I really, and she'll tell you, I did not like Erica. I hated Erica. We worked together. I didn't like Erica. Erica was dating this dude named Lurch. I mean, I don't know what his real name is. And the dude would come, hey, Michael, how are you doing? I was like, who the hell is this? But I'm just...
Let me tell you about Michael.
It came to be, I mean, God placed her in my path. And God is going to place a lot of people in everybody's path. And you either take notice to that person, them to be part of your life, or you walk by that person. And when we started dating, I told her from the beginning, I said, look, I got flaws. I said, I don't want to run into this relationship with you. I'd rather walk so we can avoid potholes. I'd rather walk so we can hold hands around those things that we need to hold hands around. I'd rather walk with you into this relationship so that, number one, we will see everything that will be coming toward us. When you run, you can't see that. So she agreed. And now she's sitting her beautiful self here like she in the audience, like we are on Oprah or something.
Go ahead, cheerleader Erica.
She got a little notepad and everything.
Oh, Michael, you ain't tell me about this one. Let's talk about this again.
Oh, wait, get out.
Hey, Queen. What's up, baby? Miss you. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you this quick story. So when I moved to Los Angeles, you know, I did my own trip. So I stopped by Michael's house. He was one of my routes. Michael wasn't home. His brother let me in. This one, you know, you comfortable and you know y'all family. His brother let me in. I went up to the guest room, or was Michaela's room, somebody's room I went up to, and I stayed there and I slept because I was exhausted, y'all. I was tired.
Yeah.
Michael shouted up the stairs the next morning, Queen, you okay? You alive? But he ain't know the whole time. This is when him and Erica want to get. He's downstairs telling jokes to stay disturbing my sleep, and I can't hear him. I'm like, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, what is funny?
Family, baby, you family. You family.
Yeah. So, here are some of the questions that I want to get into, and I'm gonna say this really quickly. One thing that I realized in my marriage, because I hadn't dated a lot, I really wanted to, because I'm, you know, you're used to seeing someone that physical, you're used to seeing someone there. So I wanted to quote unquote date. And I will honestly say I was getting my head hit up against the wall because I didn't know about dating. I didn't know this new thing that was going on. I'm the type of person, your word is your bond. If you say you're going to do something, you're going to, you know, that's how you show up, right? So it was very different for me. Like some of the stuff the guys would do, I'm like, huh? Who your mama, your sister, and your auntie, and your daughters? Like, you do that. I would talk to guy friends of mine and ask them, is this how you show up? These are the things you do with women, because we can't be friends, because I can't have those type of friends in my life. And I'm having these experiences with guys. This is absolutely not cool. I believe my marriage served this purpose for the time that I needed to be there, to be shielded, healed from whatever at that time. And then it was time to move on. Okay. So the first thing I want to ask is, what is dating? Michelle, what would you say dating is? What would you say the experience of dating? What do you think it should be? How it should look?
So I'm going to tell you. So, you know, I don't do the things that I know that we know to do. Like a lot of times we move too fast. I remember, and even now as I'm dating, I remember when I got married, my ex-husband didn't know my last name for like 8 months.
What?
He didn't know where I lived for maybe 9. And so what happened, because this is what I said I didn't want to do all the things that I know, because sometimes, like some stuff, you know, when you're starting to mature, it's okay to get that, to go back and get the person of your youth. And you know, even I'm gonna give you a little bit of Bible here, and I'm gonna keep going. Sometimes until you tap into that childlike part of you, you won't have the fun and you won't have the light that you won't have that vitality that you need for any kind of connection. So even when I date, I don't know, we meet wherever we're gonna be finding a place that we're gonna meet mutually. Because first of all, you're a single woman and you shouldn't be, you know, this is a different kind of culture now. So it's like, you know, I don't need you to know how I'm moving yet until I know who you really are. I get a good feeling about who you are. So we did it like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when we got married, he said to me, I missed how we dated, because what he said was that it made him perform in a different way. And what I realized is that some men, they like the challenge of being able to tap into the next level of gentleman in them, or if you will, because you're a man, but are you a gentleman? Are you a gentleman? Like, are you a respectful man? Can you show up if I'm not ready for this? Can you still hang? Can you get the sweat in the game with me? See, I'm big, and you know how I feel about that, Queen. I don't trust nothing. Don't have sweat. Don't have no skin in the game. If you don't have no skin, if you're not willing to go through the difficult parts, the things that they say, well, this challenge is how I normally date. Well, I'm not normal, so don't try to don't try to date me like I'm normal, because I'm not. And I'm not arrogant, but what I do understand, I understand my value, and I understand that there's so many. What's going to separate you from the next situation? And I'm not really looking to do that. I'm just looking to be in my authentic true self. So what do I want? I don't want that. I like great connections. I'm a fun person. I laugh a lot. I have a lot of fun. You know, I'm affectionate. So I want things that are going to harness that are going to nurture that. And sometimes if you do things, and it's just the truth. It's the same. It's a saying that we've heard forever. If you do it the same way every time, God, you're going to get the same thing every time.
That's right.
I just didn't want to do it the same way every time. Even I remember when he said he first said that he said to me, he said, "I love you," and I was like, ah. He was like, what? And I was like, I don't know. So he said, yeah, right. He said, okay, we'll try it again tomorrow, boys and girls. And his response was everything, right? But what I said to him, I said, I don't know that I know love. I said, because I base love on all the things that we always do, the physical, the this. But I wanted to know, like, do I love you based on who you are? And do you love me based on like who I am, like the good stuff that you like, the stuff that you don't like, like, do you like all of that? So I was really I was in search of what real love was, to be honest with you, in terms of that kind of connection. I really was, because I think that, we base love on so many other things. And then when like what I said to him was, you got to go through all 4 seasons. Just like winter, spring, summer, and fall, we have those seasons in our lives. Who you are in the fall and the winter of your life, when things are falling apart, is not who you are in the spring and summer. Right. And a lot of times we meet people in our spring and summer, right? And so when we have a fall or winter season, they fall off.
They don't like that Ajax. They're like, no, I don't like your bleach that you use.
Exactly. So it's like, for me, I'm gonna need to know what kind of skin you got. I need to know. That tells me what you made of, because it's the roller coaster thing again. If you can't go on that roller coaster ride, because that's what life is, then we're not going. It's not going to be a good fit for us.
Larry, Larry, what would you add? Because he's nodding and agreeing. He nodding and agreeing like, yes.
I think for me, Queen, I'll put it simple as this. When I first got married, we only dated for 3 months, got engaged in 1 month, was married in 5 months. And I think I took the elevator in the first time. But this time around, I'm taking the stairs, because I'm going to go a little bit slower. Now, I have no life regrets for the 21 years that I spent with my ex-wife. But this time, I'm going to take the stairs, because I'm going to take a slower approach. Now, great time, great 21 years. I take full responsibility for what I did in the marriage. But as I'm dating now, I'm taking the stairs, because I think in my first marriage, I took the elevator. And neither one is bad. But for me, this time I'm taking the stairs.
So Larry, do you think anything had to do with when we would come to the house and be in the movie theater playing Taboo and stuff, that and eating up y'all food? That ain't had nothing to do with it.
That had nothing to do with it. That had nothing to do with it. No, absolutely not.
Christmas, we were just like, Larry, we coming to your house. And we'd be there till like 2 o'clock in the morning watching movies, falling asleep, wake up, watch Taboo, and you're talking about like 10 of us strong. And Nikki would be going, she'd be like,
I'll see y'all later.
Ebony, what would you add? What does dating mean to you, Ebony? Coach Ebony.
Hey, baby girl. So dating as of now, 2022, is totally different. I am at the tender age of 47, so I'm quite young.
Yeah.
So what I feel about dating now, it's weird for me. I was married for 11 years, but I was with him prior to that, so we were together for a long time. Dating now is weird. I agree with, I think it's Larry. I agree. I take the stairs. I take my time. I don't go look for anything. I feel that whoever I cross paths with I will come to that road or to that crossroad or whatever. So I don't go look, because I feel when you go looking, you'll find stuff that you do not need. So I don't look. I just continue with my everyday life and just grateful for everything. But as far as dating, it's kind of weird. I have been on dates. I've had gentlemen come to me all sideways, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not the one, sir. Kick rocks and blow bubbles. I don't do that.
Did she serve them?
So
did she serve them?
I know I'll say sir real quick. When I'll be like, sir, where they do that at? I said, well, we don't do that over here. So, but dating, I love going out on dates, and I respect the dates, and I respect I'm more of where if I go out on a date and if I'm really feeling this person and I love the conversation, because I'm more of wanting to be friends first. Let's learn each other. Please, let's learn each other. That's the point of dating, to learn each other. Each date, we know, like Miss Michelle has said, you don't know everything about me, but each date I'll open up more and more and more according to how the date is going. But if it's not going right, then sir, that's the end of the road right there. We good. But if I'm feeling someone, I have no problem be like, hey, I want to take you out because I love your company. Let's go out.
Right.
At all.
And
but that's what I think about dating as of now.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman taking a man on a date if they're on a certain level.
Yes, cool. And if I'm feeling you, definitely ask.
Right. And Michael, what would you add to that? Because you are the only one right now that is married. Did you take? And you said you took your time.
Well, this is my thing, and like I said, I mean, I know dating back 10 years ago is way different than dating.
You got a lot of static.
I'm sorry. Is that better?
Talk again.
Okay, so I know that dating.
I'm married to the room.
No. I know that dating, like 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, is way different than what it is right now today. Some of the things that I will say is that, in just my opinion, dating is a time to cherish one another. Dating is a time to get to know one another. The main thing in dating is we have lost courtship. We haven't courted anyone. And one of the things that I will say to people all the time is, even my daughter who's about to get married, she courted the guy that she's with right now. And I love that in people that understand what courtship is. Courtship is more than getting to know one another, getting to know, what are your likes and dislikes? What do you like to eat and what do you don't like to eat? Going on dates, even right now in my marriage, right now today. Thursday night, no matter, it's two things going to happen Thursday night. We're going to either take a bubble bath together or we're going to go to the movies and have dinner. That's the two things that are going to happen, no matter what is going on, unless she's out of town or I'm out of town. And those are things that you have to establish within dating. Hey, I know I want to see you on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because we're off that whole weekend. Make it a point that you date, but make it a more important and invalid point that you court the woman or the man that you're with. There's nothing wrong with the woman courting the man because you're going to get to know the man. It's to court him. If you don't court him, you're never going to get to know him.
Yeah.
A lot of things that people say right now, people are playing too many games out here. So the game stops when the courtship starts. That's what I tell people all the time. Even when I'm talking to my friends who are out there, just I got 3, 4, 5, but you by yourself. But when you're by yourself and you know that you're by yourself, one of the things you look back and say, man, I wasted so much time, either for lack of a better word, being a hoe or just doing what I want to do. You can't do it. And when you're looking for love ain't hard to find. Love is right there. It's about this far, 8, 10 feet, inches from you. That's how far love is. It's up to you to get in your mind and in your heart that you're ready for that. That's the point.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mike. Check your. I don't know if you we're getting feedback or something. You might need to turn something down. Very good points, and I think that's important. And this is my thing, that I want to be pursued. I want to be dated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the courtship is important to get to know each other. And like you said, your likes, your dislikes, and women. I'm not going to say all women, but I think some women, they think that they should be dated and pursued. No, it's a two-way street. It has to have a balance. You know what I'm saying? I think that if you like somebody, they like you, and you gotta listen and look for to make sure y'all on the same page. Like, I've done, the online dating and stuff, and I've said to guys, I met you on a dating app. I was not looking for a friend. I got Larry, Mike, Dwayne, Ernest, John, all them. It's platonic male friends. I'm not on a dating app looking for a guy friend. Yeah, I got brothers. You know what I'm saying? I don't need, so my thing is, if they are not consistent in what looks great to you and what you're looking for in a relationship, because a lot of people are like, he ain't consistent. Consistent what? Because people can be consistent in nonsense. You understand? So all these words we're using, be consistent in what works for you, and then really be discerning. You know what I'm saying? Because some women out here trying to get a meal. It ain't nothing wrong with a free meal, but my mother always said, make sure you get cheese on your burger. I know Geraldine.
I can't even do it.
Yes, I mean, I think that those things are just really important. And I think we're in, like Mike said, people are playing games. We're in a season where people think people are disposable. We have all of this social media. People can hide and lie and all of these things, but they don't understand universal law. It is all coming back to you. And it may not be you. It can be through your family, your business, your currency, your health. So please be mindful of what you're doing. That's all I want to say. The next question I'm going to answer is a very important question. How important is sex? Is going to be a few things I'm going to say. How important, Larry got close. He said, How
He was like this, Aisha.
Larry said,
He was like this.
How important is sex in a relationship? And when would you say is too soon? Is like having sex in a relationship, dating or whatever, is it a week, a month? Like, and I want to start with the men. And the reason I'm going to say that is because men, believe it or not, women, we set the tone, but men set the tone. Because there's certain things you do, and the man be like, I like you, but that right there you did, I appreciated it. But that was too soon.
Yes.
So Larry, you got something on your spirit? Talk to Deacon Larry, disciple.
All right. What is too soon? So
you know the congregation watching.
Yeah. So too soon for me would be we go on a date and then we sleep together tonight. Mm-hmm. To me, that's too soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 55 years old, so I don't play games. So I'm dating now for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not dating just to be sleeping around. Mm-hmm. I'm dating for a purpose. Mm-hmm. And the purpose is that we're going to spend the rest of our lives together. Never thought in a million years that I would get a divorce, but I did. So that's why I said for now I'm taking the stairs. And the sex thing, it's going to come up. It's going to come up. And I think we both have to agree upon where we are. And that's why I only date mature women, because I can't date little girls. I can't date someone 30 years old and I'm 55 because we're going to be on two different pages.
Right, because she might try to do a handstand and you're not ready.
He said that for the people in the back. For the people in the back. Say it for the people in the back. Oh my God.
Yes, honey. And Mike, what would you add to that?
I'm going to say this, and ladies, you can chop me up later, but I want you to understand what I'm saying. Sex to a man is 65% of the relationship, if not 70. Okay. So the time that it happens need to be agreed upon. Let's dive a little deeper than it's to a man. Sex is not just the physical part of it, because like my dad told me, he said, you can go and he would say this all the time when we was kids, you can go and dig 10 holes and put water in all of them. And you put yourself in all 10, they all feel the same. You hear what I'm saying?
Say that again. Wait a minute.
That was good. I love that.
Say that again. That's something from in Georgia. Y'all ain't ready for that again.
But I'm telling you, the thing of it is, sex to a man is his way of expressing himself in a way that he can't say. It's a way for him to express himself that he can't do. It's a way to express himself that he can't physically show everybody else. So when you talk about sex with a real man, not a man who's just want to be screwing and popping everything that's moving, but a real man.
I'm doing this, not popping.
No, that's what it's called, popping. You know, we call it another word, but I'm trying to be real. You know, I can get there. But to a man, it really has to be a real man for you to figure out what's the comfortable time frame for you both, because she could be more aggressive than you are. And to be a real man, if you do have an aggressive woman that do want to have sex on the second or third date and you don't, a real man would just say, hey, look, how about we hold each other?
Yeah.
The one thing that a woman will tell you that she will not say it publicly, a woman loves to be held and touched.
Yeah. You
can have sex with a woman without even penetrating her. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's different forms of sex that we can call it whatever you want to call it. The thing of it is, you have to have a comfort level for the time frame that you all are in, the space you're in, the season you're in. If y'all in the same space and y'all on the same agreement, you can have sex 3 days later. I don't really care. Because if you're feeling that person, that's just, and I'm gonna go a bit further. These people who get engaged and stay engaged for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they stupid.
Yeah.
They stupid. You know, a man, maybe
right
not
away.
women, a man knows when he wants to be with a woman
Yes.
for the rest of his life within 30 days.
Let me tell you something. It don't take all day to recognize sunshine. I was talking to a girl yesterday, and she was doing all this stuff. I don't even know if they was engaged. And she said, and just out of nowhere, and I don't know if she was like peeing on her territory or whatever. She was like,
I can't.
He just go ahead and marry me. It's been 20 years. Now, here's the thing. Some people will say 20 years while he ain't marry you. Some people are okay with being domestic partners. That's your personal business, right? But evidently, she's not pleased.
Right.
Because you've been in something for 20 years, and this is what you're saying.
That's a long time.
Honey, I would put him on my health insurance, but he got to pay. He paying for health insurance. My health insurance is free at work. I said to myself, wow, this is really sad.
It is.
Because the way you spoke it, I don't know if that's how, but it's in your spirit somewhere. Like, you want to trade off, you bartering health insurance for a lifetime partnership. 20 years is a lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want a commitment, you need to go ahead and do what you need to do and not try to pee on your territory with me, because I'm good. I don't want Sebastian. And Ebony, what are your thoughts as far as how soon is too soon, or when is appropriate time to have sex?
Well, you know me, Aisha, so I'm really not the one for it. I am I move very slow, and I agree with Mr. Michael. To me, sex starts with conversation. The conversation, Michael Prince.
She called me Mister. She called me Mister, like the color purple.
No,
Mister. That's what I'm about to say.
Stop, y'all. I even said Miss Michelle. It's out of respect. I'm from the Midwest, so stop. Right. So listen, I believe that, like Michael Prince had said, sex starts with conversation. That's everything. The conversation, the way the person treats you, the way that y'all move about each other, the way it's all of that touch and everything. It's not just about the penetration, by far not. Mm-hmm. So it's not for me, the sex early thing. That's not my thing at all whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Even if someone comes to me, which has been recently, I spoke to a guy, and that's the first thing. The stuff he said, I'm not going to repeat it. When I say it totally turned me off, and then he was like, well, what's wrong? Dude, that's not even the way that I roll. You turned me off. I'm grown, but that's not even the type of conversation I'm having. What do you mean?
Because it's been accepted before, and it's worked before. That's why he's able to do it.
And that's why I be like, sir, what type of females are you dealing with? Because I'm not the one. So I'm not for the early thing. It's just not me. I know everyone is different, but it's just not my thing at all. Mm-hmm. So no.
And Michelle, what would you add to that?
I agree with her. So I'm dating now, and one of the things we've had a great time. It's like teenagers. We would sit in the car all night, smooch. I get them good in the house. Mm-hmm. Never seen the inside of my house. It was just something that I'm a slow mover. Yes. But I'm also a Scorpio woman, so I'm a very passionate person. I'm a very emotional. I'm a very
ordained minister.
Say that louder. Say it louder.
Listen. God ordained the woman, Michelle. Okay, yes, I'm real clear about that. Now you're going to come to one of my conferences, you'll understand exactly what I say about that. Because I don't let people put their religion on me. I don't do that. I'm with the Lord. I'm with the Lord all day. But I understand how I'm made, and God understands how I'm made, and that's the revelation for me, is that God knows how I'm made, and so I accepted that. Once I began to accept that, and all the flaws and all the imperfections, I had a much more peaceful life, around myself. My mother was extremely wise. I got a lot. She left me very rich. So how I think about myself as it relates to interacting with another man is, I feel like it's very healthy. And so, I think that I agree with you, Ebony. No, we're not going to be doing no. And your conversation got to sound right, because I gotta find out how much alley you got in you. If you got all that alley dog in you, we're not doing that.
And Michelle, do you agree with me, Michelle? When you conversate with a man, you can tell just from the first conversation where they mind. You can just tell if you listen. You can tell about anybody.
You can. You absolutely can. You can. And see, there are other things that turn me. Like I got to be able to laugh with you. I mean, like hearty laugh, like I do with my girlfriends. Like I can totally be myself. I can say things a little crazy or whatever, and I'm all of that starts to be able to get into my my emotional place, my sensual place, because it matters that I can truly be myself with you. So to what Michael said is that, it's you making love before you even making love. You really are doing it before you even doing it, because it's a language. It's a language. And so the physical act, it's like, it's like going to the gym. Well, the first thing is I need to get my diet right. So for the gym part to work. So it's like, and it's the same thing. You got to get one part right before the other part works. And so we are in this culture was extremely heightened by sexual, the physical, everything. We got the BBLs. I'm so sick of the BBLs. God, please, the BBLs. Let them do something. I don't know. Then we got the guys that they doing more than the women. You up in the mirror. Boo, listen, I'm a makeup artist. I don't need to be sharing no mirror with you. Seriously. I mean, and I really mean it's like I want you to be in your best. I want you to be in your best man, your high man. But there's some things that I don't compromise because I like being a woman. I like everything about that. So I like the chase. I never forget when I was first started dating my man now. I said, "Are you stalking me?" He said, "I'm stalking you and I'm chasing you." I said,
"I know that's right.
I like that." Yeah. Because it's what the guy said. It reminded me of the song. Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase a cat? I said, "Oh, yeah." I was like this. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, so there's a language that happens, and what I say is it shouldn't just happen once. It should keep happening because you both should be as excited about that moment as any. So it should keep happening. And I go very long because I go very long. My time is very precious to me, and my Queen, I'm a conversationalist. I'm a relationship person. I'm relational anyway, and I'm a speaker. So if you can't connect with me, like here, we not gonna.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like,
we're not gonna do a whole lot.
Sex is so easy. Like my mother always, she'd be like, people act like they just realize they had a vagina and a penis. I don't understand what's going on. Like, because it's just everything is sex. It's like they're over sex. Like we were young, like my friends would come over and she may have on her bra or something to walk on. We'd be like, "Mommy, put on." She'd be like, if they ain't never seen breasts before, then it's a shame at this age. You know what I'm saying? She ain't running around, but she like, it's a bra. Like, what is the big? And that was in the 80s. And my thing is in regards to a man, you got to stimulate. You got to get me here.
Yes.
If you got me here, everything else is easy. You know what I'm saying? We got to have good conversation. Yes. I need to know that you're comfortable. I know that I got big energy. You know what I'm saying? Now, and sometimes you might catch me when I'm on just chill, but I got big energy. So I need to understand that you match my swag, that you're comfortable with who you are. You have your own thing going on. And when we get together, we flow like water. You understand what I'm saying? We have to flow like water. And those things are just very important. This has been such an enriching conversation.
Can I add one thing with that?
Of course.
And so
Michelle.
Go ahead. So listen, and so I'm gonna say it from a spiritual perspective. Okay. So let's say if I was ministering, I would say, listen, here's the reason why you should be taking the time to get to know each other, because sin clouds the lines. So we'll bring it back.
Very agreeing. Okay.
Sex clouds the lines. It brings interference, because that's why I said I didn't know what love was, because sometimes when you base it too much on physical, because we so fast to do this that you don't really know if I'm loving you, if I'm lusting you, because you really can be lusting that person like for real, but because honestly, like the sex is just an extension of how I'm really feeling you, right? But honestly, if you do that too soon, that's why you have so many of these young people that they're emotionally unstable, and when things don't go their way, they ready to pop on each other. That's because you put stuff in there that it clouds the line, so you don't really know what you're working with, because you got 20 minutes of something good. Come on,
if it was 20.
That my mother.
If we dealing with men, that's in our generation, and I only date men in my generation.
Right.
And first of all, don't come to me with a whole bunch of what you gonna do. First of all, if you're talking about it, I already know you ain't gonna show up. Right. Nothing. We're not doing that. Okay. Right. And here's the thing: you closer to the end than the beginning, unless you have a healthy diet. Yes. Drinking some green juice and working out. You're not doing it like that. So stop playing.
My mother used to say, it's 50 pumps. Count it if you ain't got nothing else to do. Why you doing that? I said, whoa, I ain't counting no 50 pumps, mommy.
all this wise wisdom, right?
That's terrible. Y'all scratch that, y'all. Take that out. Edit that out.
You already said leave it in there. Leave it in there.
If you can count 50 pumps, then you already know it ain't nothing happening.
No, especially if you count them. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
Michael,
22.
Oh God.
No, but it's just I'm just so glad that we had this conversation because me and Ebony, we would do on our Facebook page, we would talk about Dating After Marriage Chronicles, and it was always a challenge to get men to come on. And then as I was planning this show, and I started thinking, I was like, I wonder if Larry would come on and all this stuff. I was like, I don't know if because I know Larry's spirit, right? So I was like, I wonder if Larry would come on. I knew Michael was coming. Yeah. So I'm just so glad you came because I think it's very important for us to know that we all are here for one another. We need one another. We have to have dialogue. This is how we get to a greater place to be better individual humans. And then to show up in our family, with our friends, and in a relationship. Like we all want to be loved and all that stuff. For me, it's like I look forward to being in a healthy, fulfilling relationship. But I'm not settling. You understand what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. I enjoy my time by myself. You understand? I enjoy it. I have great friends and family. But you want to be with that one person. But I'm not pressed. I'm not in a rush to get there.
Right.
And then you have a lot of people that's in a rush to get there and you're like rushing to the finish line and it's over, because you miss so many steps. You miss so many steps and you find out he crazy, she crazy. They've been crazy. Yeah. You just didn't let the crazy show up. You know what I'm saying? So these things are just so important. Lastly, to wrap it up, Larry, would you give any tips, drop some jewels quickly for not just dating after marriage, just for dating. And I think that just dating in general, whether you're married, whether you're in our generation, younger or older, each of you, what would you share?
Great, Queen. And something just dropped in my spirit, and it's like where I am right now at 55, we both have to have the skill and the will. Now, we both have to have the will, and we can teach each other the skills that we can communicate, that we can make this thing work. So that's what I'm looking for right now. We both got to have the skill and the will. We got skin in the game. And even when things come up, because it's not a matter if, it's when those things come up, we will still be there for each other. And that's one of the reasons why I leave you right now with, I'm taking the stairs this time because I'm going to ensure that the process that I go through this time, because I've got more years behind me than I have in front of me. So the years that I have in front of me, they're going to be all good. I don't have time to play. I don't have time to play.
Yeah.
I'm a mature, business-owned man. I don't need nobody to give me anything. I got everything. There's a couple of things that I still want, but there's nothing that I need.
That's not a need, exactly.
There's nothing I need. And then I'll just say to everybody, it's okay to be single. It's okay to date. But take your time with it. It's going to be okay. I tell my daughter that, who's 17 now, and she's dating. I'm like, Madison,
oh my gosh.
Let's finish high school first. You're getting too distracted with this young man. Great young man, but I want to keep her on the straight and narrow. So I give her things that a boy will probably never give her.
No, and the thing about it is, and that is very important. And men, I really want you all to understand, it is so imperative the way your relationship with your daughter is.
Yes.
That is this is what my mother said. Your father is your first love.
Yep.
If you accept certain things from him, you will accept it from anyone.
There you go.
So, men, it's very important that you show up for your daughters in an amazing way, because it'll take that one guy. Like with my nieces and nephews, I don't have children. My nieces and nephews, we take them to dinner. You understand? We give them flowers, because when somebody gives them flowers or take them to dinner, I don't ever want them to feel that they owe someone something, that they have to degrade themselves because somebody gave them a French fry or gave them some pumpernickel bread from Cheesecake Factory with the lemon mint lemonade.
Cucumber.
It's funny you should say that, because I want to share this real quick. Last year, Valentine's Day, I took my daughter to the Ritz-Carlton for high tea. She was telling her friends, they was like, what's high tea? And at the end, to cap it off, she got a little blue box. That's the Tiffany box, because I wanted her to show this is what a real man does.
Amen.
That's right. That's
Amen to
right.
that.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Deacon Pastor Disciple Larry. Michael, and Michael, what was your
I would just add to. I mean, I'm just to kind of piggyback off something before I go into my actual what I really want to say.
you gotta pin this on long.
A baby boy makes you a dad. A baby girl will turn you into a father, and they are two different things. So I just want to let you all know. But as far as the dating scene goes, don't be afraid to date. See people as what they are. Most people will show you who they are within the first 30 minutes. Know that whoever you decide to be with, they have your front and your back. You understand what I'm saying? I tell people all the time that God took a rib from Adam and made Eve for her to walk beside him. Those people who have their women walking in front of them or walking behind them need to correct the way that we walking. The first thing that people need to learn when they're dating or when they're in a marriage or when they're in a relationship is that man should walk beside you. That woman should walk beside you. When you all talk about things, when you all go to bed at night, when you argue, you should still be able to have a conversation, argue, get in bed at night. You put your feet on mine, I put mine on yours. We good. Never, ever let anyone change who you are, because eventually the real you will come out. So the representative that you were trying to show this one person, will eventually come out. So be who you are. Like I tell my wife, present day, I am who I am. I have flaws, and I will be the first one to tell you I will apologize for whatever mistake I make. But she makes sure that that flaw that I made or that mistake I made is accountable. Hey, wait, now you made that last week. Now you say you're gonna do it. No, that ain't gonna happen. But that's accountability. If men were more accountable to women, there would not be a problem in dating. If men were more accountable. Women, there's no different. If women were more accountable for their dating, we would have no problems.
Thank you, Michael. Now you mentioned the Adam and Eve and the rib. Is that how you got the name of your barbecue business, Two Bombs?
No, that's my grandfather. Anyway.
Michelle, and what would you add?
He had said something, but 50 something, you just forget what the word was saying. He said something that I wanted to comment on. So
about the dad and the dad and the father. That was
no. But what was the question again, darling?
Okay. I know I lost too.
It's about what tips would we give regarding dating, whether you're young, old, or our generation, older, single, never married. What advice would you give?
First of all, you don't take on projects. Women are people.
Michelle, you better say that, mama.
Say that. Don't just say that. Say that again.
Yeah, you're not taking on projects.
Yes,
you're not doing that in this season. And neither should he have to.
That's right.
Honestly, just meet people where they are. And I want to say this because we're in a culture that is highly charged with I'm boss and I'm this. I don't really care. Like if you Boston, listen, I manage managers. I was in banking for a lot of years and I manage people's money. I'm certified in a lot of different kind of investments. The people that had the most money that was doing the most, they never, you don't even know. They're so unassuming.
Yep.
But specifically in the Black community, we are so heightened and we're so infatuated and intoxicated by the status of someone else. And I really don't you guys hear me say I left a millionaire because they're your millions. They don't mean them to me. So we have to lose some mind. We have to lose some ideologies and some mindsets to date healthy. You don't need to come up in a relationship talking about I got this. No, sometimes women just be a woman. Just freaking be a woman.
What you say? Stay in your sweet spot.
Stay in your lady. Just let your lady rise. Just be dated. Go out, put your lashes on, and just talk about stuff that everybody can talk about. Sometimes we get into too much stuff that it's not even for them, it's for you. It's it's because you're feeding your own ego. And I just really I have to edge out the ego because it can't survive there. It won't survive. Go about your life. I meet people. I've got a nice guy. I
Look at she's not.
I was just on. I was just,
Your
I was just, I was doing my thing. I was just doing my thing. And so honestly, like I'm saying, like, stop trying to. First of all, women, you always want to change something. Let it be what it is, and see if you doing right, if you talking, if you relating to God right, you get the stuff done you need to get done. You ain't got to have all this banter back and forth for what? We doing too much. We doing too much. And I mean, some of the ideologies, and then the last thing I'm gonna leave you with, be mindful that you're not taking advice from people that don't have the same experience that you do, or the same personality, or the same values.
That part.
Because that's why social media is a joke to me, because you're doing all this, and I don't know. See, if you I don't know, you ain't a fly on the wall. And until you're a fly on the wall, you don't know really what's going on with that person. And the people that are supposed to be calling themselves experts, they are the worst. They are the worst. Everybody's got an opinion about something they don't even have experience in. And if they have experience in it, they didn't come out of it right. If you didn't come out of it right, then you need to be quiet until you can settle down and get some healing and say, you know what, I wasn't thinking about that right. And go back and revisit that again.
Okay,
I don't want to hurt nobody else in this thing.
I'm about to send you a love offering.
There you go.
You're not Michelle and Michael going on and Larry going on tour together. Like, y'all get to experience, like, these are me and Michelle's conversations 1-2 o'clock in the morning before the soldiers hit our eyelids. We have fallen asleep on the phone, waking back up, hung up, call the next morning, continue the conversation, baby tech, Queen this and that. Cried, I done pissed her off. Queen, you not listening. Then, like, we done did, and y'all get to experience that, and she'd be so serious. And here's the thing: the gentleman that you are dating, you should be so honored. Not saying that you shouldn't also, Nichelle, because Nichelle ain't talking about nobody that she ain't feeling. You will never, ever, ever, ever know, because that ain't how she flows. That is not how that's not how she flows. So thank you so much. And Ebony, what were you at, Ebony? What's the dating tips you?
Just be
Atlanta streets. Be true to Atlanta streets. They do it.
I am in Georgia. Yeah, be true to yourself. Respect yourself. I always tell people, with what I do with the coaching and stuff, if you don't love yourself, you can't expect other people to love you. So that's first and foremost. Love yourself first. Walk in your truth, because I feel the person that you attract. I always tell people, I'm not for everybody, but I'm for somebody. So walk in your truth, be yourself, and that person that you attract will be, because they'll see that. They'll see that. They'll see that confidence and that love that you have for yourself, that respect for you that you have for yourself. So that's what you'll attract, and that's it. Simple.
And you never know. Thank you, Nichelle. Bye-bye. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah. So you never know how you're gonna, the person you're gonna meet, how you're gonna meet that person, how whatever is for you, whatever God has for you is gonna come to you. Period. You don't have to look for it. You don't got to audition, and I don't like to audition. And I'm in entertainment, so auditions is what we do, Mike. But the audition, and I'm the type of person that I don't believe in sharing all of my information constantly. So because I was married, because of how I was raised, that constantly giving your business and it's okay also for somebody else to talk as well. Yeah. Thank you all so much. I love you all.
Love you.
Can Erica take a lot of notes? Is she pleased?
Is you pleased, babe?
He said, is you pleased?
Her notebook full. No.
Ebony, I'm not Ebony. Erica, do you need to add anything from the sidelines? Come peek in. Any tips you want to give on relationships, on a relationship commitment, something to live for? I was at the wedding. Michael did the quote for the wedding too. We can't hear you, Erica.
I think everything was said. You need a whole nother hour for all the rest.
No, I think that it's going to have to be a part 2, 3, and 4. I really believe that this is so imperative, especially in our community. Right? That we really, this social media thing, we got to get so far away from it. We are people that are not aware they're losing themselves because they're lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves on so many different levels, and they're going to find themselves by themselves. Do you know how many people in the pandemic found out they really wasn't the ish when they thought they was, because they were mistreating people, thinking, oh, I got this. Like, no, you don't, sir. And don't be asking and expecting women to do something and be something that you're not willing to do or be, and women the same way. I think that we all have to have grace with one another, and support each other the best way we can. And if it don't work, then it's okay to say, this does not fit. Next.
Our
All
heart
right,
has.
everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of
Bye.
the day. I love
That'll be good.
each of
Love
you.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's been another episode of I Know Dope People. I am Queen Aisha, and thank you truly so much for watching. Go out there. Wait for your love to come to you. Peace and blessings.